Hey y'all, so a couple weeks ago I did a video here where I talked about my weight loss journey and the tools that I've learned, but I realized that there are so many of these principles that I have been able to use in all areas of my life. So I'm going to be doing a series of videos where I break down my experience, my perspective, and how I can use these tools in other parts of my life. And as I always say, please make sure you take what you like and leave the rest. But the reason I'm doing this series is because I want you to know that you're not alone in your journey to create the life that you want and that you deserve it. So let's get into it. Sometimes my life is chaotic and unmanageable. And that's okay. Yeah. When we think about life change and growth, it's so easy to think that we should be able to do it all of ourselves because we have so many self-help books, and there's Google, and there's social media influencers, and then we also have our family and friends that think they know exactly what we should do with our lives. But change and personal growth is a very vulnerable journey, which makes it that much easier to want to do it alone. So I want to share with you what my bottom looked like. I had just moved to Los Angeles, fresh out of college, and I was at a very unhealthy weight for my body, and I couldn't stop eating, and I was trying to get a job, and I wasn't finding any work, and my free housing was ending, and I had bought a one-way plane ticket, so I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And I just kept binging. I was using all my money on food rather than taking care of my rental car and my housing. I remember going into one job interview and literally crying in the middle of the interview when he asked me how I was doing. And I remember walking out of that interview and I knew I definitely didn't get that job. And I went home that night and I fell on the floor in the bathroom and I just sobbed because everything that I used to help me cope with my feelings was no longer working. Looking back, this is when I really learned the principle of honesty. But I mean radical, unabashed, ruthless, truthful, from the gut, heart and soul honesty. And for the first time, I had to get really honest about just how unmanageable my life really was. But I had to be willing to get it out of my head. So the first tool I have for you in regards to honesty is a leave it list. What you can do is sit down and write a list of every single thing that bothers you, that stresses you out, and everything that you have no control over. And don't overthink it, just let the list flow. My list looks something like this: the weather, traffic, the news, my ex-girlfriend, how many likes I get on social media, politics, my mom, my dad, my brother's suicide, my food, my weight, the fact that I couldn't stop looking at porn, my love life, my current job, my boss, co-workers, my own thinking, debt, all the mistakes I've made in my past, and all the future mistakes that I still haven't made, and my general fear that I'll never get what I want out of life. But here is the great thing with this list. Whenever there is something that you start to get in your head about that you want to control, or that you are concerned about, or you have fear about, you can go and you can write it on that list. And if you know that you already have it on that list, you can remind yourself, oh, you know what? I put it on the leave it list. I'm going to leave that alone right now. Coming from this place of honesty with ourselves, it creates this space for us to start being honest with other people. And from that place, we can start to build a support community that really works for us. Yes, that means you will need to let other people into your life. So next week's video is going to be all about building community and how we can create a community that works for us. If anything I shared today resonates with you, please consider supporting my Patreon page in the description link below. I'm offering some services as well to help you on your journey just as much as you would be supporting my channel. And also, if you have any thoughts on today's video, please leave them in the comments below. Please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell notification so you'll know whenever I post a new video for you. Bye, y'all.